Advaita Gadadhar Shivasade Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 24. Do you remember? Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Hare Krishna. We read
Hare Krishna.
that Sadhu always wants to give Krishna to everyone. And so we all can go to Godhead, back to Godhead. And we also read that Krishna created the Varna Ashram system for our benefit. So we can work according to our qualities and at the same time rise to the level of spirituality and go back to Godhead. We can purify ourselves and rise above the material modes and go back to the spiritual world. And then we also read that Krishna comes to attract our hearts and show his activities are divyam. And he was a very small child and he killed Putna when he was so small. And so all this is divyam. And if one can understand that, then they can go back to Godhead. And then Krishna's activities are transcendental. So he has created this material world so we can understand his activities and go back to Godhead. And we also read that in the society we see that there is advancement, but we are turning away from Krishna, and that's not the advancement. And that's why we are not happy also, and this is creating problems for everyone around. So the best way is to hear and remember Krishna, hear about his activities, and then go back to Godhead. And if one understands that what Krishna wants, then one should take part in this movement and help everyone else around to go back to Godhead, because that is only the purpose of the human life we read last time. And we have a purpose. So that is the purpose of this human form of life that Krishna has given us. And then we also read that in the Kali Yuga, uh, just by hearing about Krishna's instructions from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, one can get free of all the material desires. And he can give the attachment to this material world and he can go back to Godhead. And this is the, like when Krishna comes, this is his mercy is both on demons and the devotees both. Like how when he killed the demons, that's also his mercy for them, so that they can also go back to God. They can merge in him at that moment. So it is the mercy of Krishna in both the forms, when he kills the demon and when he protects the devotee. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Very nice. Thank you. So let's continue today's text 63-64. Bhoja Rishni Andaka Madhu
Bhogya Vrishni Andhaka Madhu
Surasena Dashar Hakkehe
Shur Sena Dasharha Keh
Klagani Ye Tiha Shashvat
Shalghaniya Irhitah Shashvat
Guru Sranjaya Pandubhihi
Kuru Sanjaya Pandubihi
Snigdha Smite Kshito Dare
Snigdha Smita Ikshitah Dare
Vakyar Vikrama Leelaya
Vakyaye Vikrama Leelaya
Nrilokam Ramayam Asa
Nrlokam Ramayam Asa
Murtya Sarvanga Ramyaya.
Murtaya Sarva Angaram Yaya.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Assisted by the descendants of Bhoja, Vrishni, Andhak, Madhu, Surasen, Dasharha, Kuru, Srinjay, and Pandu, Lord Krishna performed various activities. By his pleasing smiles, his affectionate behavior, his instructions, and his uncommon pastimes, like raising Govardhan hill, the Lord appearing in his transcendental body pleased all of human society. The words Nirlokam Ramayam Asamurtya Sarvanga Ramyaya are significant. Krishna is the original form, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is therefore described here by the word Murtaya. The word Murti means form. Krishna or God is never impersonal. The impersonal feature is but a manifestation of his transcendental body, Yasya Prabhavato Jagat Andakoti. So God has a form. And from this form, there is the light which is coming out of his form. That is the Brahman. So God is always personal. Krishna, his form, is ever existent. Okay. And from this form is expanding the Brahma Jyoti. The Lord is Narakriti, exactly resembling the form of a human being, but his form is different from ours. Therefore, the word Sarvanga Ramyaya informs us that every part of his body is pleasing for everyone to see. So we may think, okay, well, I have a form, and Krishna also has a form. So the quality of the form is the same. But we have to understand that right now, our form is material. We are inside this material body. So this material body is not our real form. We are actually spirit souls. Whereas Krishna, there is no difference between his soul and his body. His body is spiritual, is transcendental. Apart from his smiling face, every part of his body, his hands, his legs, his chest is pleasing to the devotees who cannot at any time stop seeing the beautiful form of the Lord. And Krishna's form is so beautiful, each and every part of his body is so beautiful that the devotees are pleased to look upon him. And they are not able to take their eyes away from his form. Like the gopis, they lament, they're like, wow, Lord Brahma, he does not know how to create. Why did he create these eyelids? We are blinking the eyes, and then for that one moment when we blink the eyes, we cannot see Krishna. And they have so much love, so much attachment for Krishna that they want to continuously look upon him. Different devotees describe the different beautiful bodily features of Krishna. His lotus hands, lotus feet, lotus petal-like eyes, his smiling face, curling black hair. So devotees very beautifully describe his beautiful form, wearing a Vaijayanti garland of Vaijayanti flowers up to his knees. His clothes are the color of the lightning. He has a peacock feather in his hair. So God has a form. God is the supreme person. Okay. Yasyananamma karakundalacharukarna
यस्याननङ्कं मकरकुण्डलचारुकर्णा
brajat kapola shubhagam savila sahasam
भ्राजत्कपोला सुभगं सविलासहासम्
niyotsavam na tatrapur drishibhi pibantyo
नित्योत्सवं न तृप्तु तृप्तुपूदृशभिः पिबन्तयो
Naryo narascha mudita kupita nimescha.
नार्यो नराश्च मुदिता कुपितनिमेष च.
Krishna's face is decorated with ornaments such as earrings resembling sharks. His ears are beautiful, his cheeks brilliant, and his smiling attractive to everyone. Whoever sees Lord Krishna sees a festival. His face and body are fully satisfying for everyone to see. But the devotees are angry at the Creator for the disturbance caused by the momentary blinking of their eyes. As stated by the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita 7.3, Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kaschid Yatati Siddhaye Yatatam Api Siddhana Kaschin Mam Veti Tattvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that, the ordinary people, most majority of the people, not interested at all in self-realization. Everyone is thinking, I'm the body. Enjoy this body as much as I can. But out of these, so many people, there will be very few who can understand, oh, I'm not the body, I'm spirit, soul. And those who have achieved this perfection, who have understood, I'm not the body, I'm the soul, there's out of thousands of such people, millions of such liberated persons, there's hardly one devotee. So it's not easy to know Krishna. This, by the mercy of Gaur Nitai, we are getting an opportunity to hear about Krishna, to understand Krishna. Now, otherwise, it's very, very difficult to understand Krishna. But Lord Chaitanya has made Krishna available for us. Unless one is qualified to understand Krishna, one cannot appreciate the presence of Krishna on earth. Among the Bhojas, Vrishnis, Andakas, Pandavas, and many other kings intimately related with Krishna, the intimate relationship between Krishna and the inhabitants of Vrindavan is especially to be noted. So we have been hearing now, right from the first canto. First, we were trying to understand the creation, Krishna's position, our position, and now finally we are coming to Krishna's pastimes as he performed 5,000 years ago with his loving devotees. So we needed the foundation, all what we have read about the creation, the different incarnations, to understand Krishna's position as the Supreme Lord. Krishna is not just it's just some hero, just some um, famous personality of the past. He's God Himself. And He has many, many loving devotees, wonderful relationships with His devotees. And the most sweetest and the most confidential is the relationship with the Brajvasis. It's the most sweetest of the pastimes. Most intimate relationship is between Krishna and the Brajvasis. That relationship is described in this verse by the words Nyotsavam Natraptur Drishibi Pibantaya. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, especially such as the cowherd boys, the cows, the calves, the gopis, and Krishna's father and mother, were never fully satisfied, although they saw Krishna's beautiful features constantly. Seeing Krishna is described here as Nitya Utsav, a daily festival. So the Brajbasis so happy. They're just so ecstatic to see Krishna, simply to gaze upon him, because they have so much love for him that they cannot pull their eyes away from him. So it's like a daily festival, constantly looking at Krishna. We all like festivals. We are excited when there's a festival. Everyone's busy. There is enthusiasm. And you're happy. So seeing Krishna is a daily festival. Inhabitants of Vrindavan saw Krishna almost every moment. But when Krishna left the village for the pasturing grounds, where he tended the cows and calves, the gopis were very much afflicted because they saw Krishna walking on the sand and thought that Krishna's lotus feet, which they dared not place on their breasts because they thought their breasts not soft enough, were being pierced by broken chips of stone. So Krishna, he is always in Vrindavan, but in the mornings he had to go to the forest to graze the cows, the calves. And the gopis, they would suffer so much. They would suffer at the very thought, thinking, oh, Krishna's soft lotus feet, his feet are so soft, so tender, that they are afraid to place his feet on their breasts, thinking that their breasts are so hard. And the thought that Krishna is walking on the sand, there's chipped stone there, and they were suffering so much just thinking of this. Their heart was being pierced. By even thinking of this, the gopis were affected and they cried at home. These gopis, who were therefore the exalted friends of Krishna, saw Krishna constantly. But because their eyelids disturbed their vision of Krishna, the gopis condemned the creator, Lord Brahma. So the gopis, they just wanted to look at Krishna constantly without even blinking their eyes. And they're upset at Lord Brahma. Why did you make the eyelids? Why do we have to blink? For that one moment, we are not able to see Krishna. They have so much love for Krishna. There's so much attachment for Krishna. Therefore, the beauty of Krishna, especially the beauty of his face, is described here. At the end of the 9th canto and the 24th chapter, we find a hint of Krishna's beauty. Now we are proceeding to the 10th canto, which is considered Krishna's head. The entire Srimad Bhagavad Puran is the embodiment of Krishna's form, and the 10th canto is his face. So, Bhagavatam, like the two cantos, first 1 and 2 are his lotus feet, and then 3 and 4 like that, proceeding going up, and 10th canto is Krishna's lotus face. That's why we always recommended to read Bhagavatam from the first canto. So this verse gives a hint of how beautiful his face is. Krishna's smiling face with his cheeks, his lips, the ornaments in his ears, his chewing of betel nuts. All this was minutely observed by the gopis, who thus enjoyed transcendental bliss, so much so that they were never fully satisfied to see Krishna's face, but instead condemned the creator of the body for making eyelids that obstructed their vision. The beauty of Krishna's face was therefore much more appreciated by the gopis than by his friends, the cowherd boys, or even by Yashoda Mata, who was also interested in decorating the face of Krishna. So the gopis were able to fully appreciate Krishna, Krishna's beauty. They are able to appreciate Krishna's beauty more. Well, Krishna is unlimited. When we say fully, then Krishna will expand more. His beauty will increase more. So, but amongst all the devotees, the gopis are much more able to appreciate Krishna's beauty. Yeah. Although Yashoda Mata, she appreciates Krishna as her son, her baby. She loves him so much. And she decorates Krishna's face so beautifully. She dresses him up so nicely. Uh, and then the friends appreciate Krishna even more, and the most is appreciated by the gopis. Any comments?
So what they're trying to say is that the gopis were the topmost, right? Like how they, in a
Yes,
sense, right? Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Okay. Yeah.
Jato gata pretragrahat vrajam editartho
जातो गतापेऽत्र गृहाद् व्रजमेति तार्थो
hatva ripunsu tashata nikrito rudaraha
हत्वा रिपुंसूतशतानि कृतो दारा
utpadyateshu purusha kratubhi samije
उत्पादतेषु पुरुषः क्रतुभिः समीजे
atmanamatma nigamam prathayan janeshu.
आत्मानमात्मा निगमं प्रथयन् जनेषु.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, known as Leela Purushottam, appeared as the son of Vasudeva, but immediately left his father's home and went to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential devotees. In Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons, and afterwards he returned to Dwarka, where, according to Vedic principles, he married many wives who were the best of women, begot through them hundreds of sons, and performed sacrifices for his own worship to establish the principles of householder life. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Vedescha Sarver Aham Eva Vedya. By all the Vedas, it is Krishna who is to be known. So all the Vedas, there are so many Vedas, the four Vedas, then there is the explanations of the Vedas, the Puranas, the Upanishads. There's so much literature, so much scripture is there. And for all of this is to understand Krishna, to worship Krishna, so that we can understand that we need to worship Krishna. So Lord Sri Krishna, setting an example by his own behavior, performed many ritualistic ceremonies described in the Vedas and established the principles of Grahas life by marrying many wives and begetting many children, just to show people in general how to be happy by living according to Vedic principles. So Krishna, he also married, he had many children because he married 16,108. And so we heard that there were so many great kings, they had millions of wives also. But Krishna, he expanded himself. He was with his each and every wife. Yeah. So Krishna set an example how to be happy in family life by following the scriptures. The center of Vedic sacrifice is Krishna. Vedascha sarver aham eva vedya. To advance in human life, human society must follow the Vedic principles personally demonstrated by Lord Krishna in his householder life. The real purpose of Krishna's appearance, however, was to manifest how one can take part in loving affairs with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna came to give us a trailer, a preview. He came to show us how he has loving relationships with his devotees. He came to give us an open invitation. Come and join me and my devotees in Golok Vrindavan. Come and always be happy. Come and be always participating in an unending festival of love and joy. So he came to show us that reciprocations of loving affairs and ecstasy are possible only in Vrindavan. Therefore, just after his appearance as the son of Vasudeva, the Lord immediately left from Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, the Lord not only took part in loving affairs with his father and mother, the gopis and the cowherd boys, but also gave liberation to many demons by killing them. So in Vrindavan, Krishna had many loving affairs with the Brajvasis. At the same time, he also killed many demons. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya chadushkritam. The Lord appears in order to protect the devotees and kill the demons. This was fully exhibited by his personal behavior. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is understood by Arjuna to be Purusham Shasvatam Divyam, the eternal, transcendental, supreme person. Here also we find the words Utpadya Teshu Purusha. Therefore, it is to be concluded that the absolute truth is Purusha, a person. The impersonal feature is but one of the features of his personality. Ultimately, he's a person. He's not impersonal. And not only is he Purusha, a person, but he is the Leela Purushottam, the best of all persons. Leela Purushottam, Krishna's called. Leela Purushottam Bhagwan. So Krishna, he's a person. And he's the best of the persons. Purusho me uttam. That's why he's called Purushottam. And his pastimes are very, very loving, very, very attractive pastimes. So God is a person, and the Brahman, the Brahmajyoti, is of his feature, is a light which is coming from his body. So we have one more. Okay,
Shilpaji, we'll
this
just
is a
finish
short
this
one.
one. This is the last
Yeah,
one. Yeah, this is the last. We
yeah,
finished the
it's a short. Okay. Prithya save guru baram shapayan kurunam
Prithva yah save guru bharam shapayan kuruna
anta samutha kalina yudibhu pachamvaha
anta samutha kalina yudhi pup champavah
drishtya viduya vijaye jayam ud vighoshya
दृष्टया विधूया विजये जमुद्धि घोषया
procyodavaya cha param samagat swadhama.
प्रोच्योदवाया च परम समगात् स्वधामा.
Thereafter, Lord Sri Krishna created a misunderstanding between family members just to diminish the burden of the world. Simply by his glance, he annihilated all the demoniac kings on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and declared victory for Arjuna. Finally, he instructed Uddhav about transcendental life and devotion, and then returned to his abode in his original form. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam. The mission of Lord Krishna was performed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, for by the Lord's mercy, Arjuna was victorious due to being a great devotee, whereas the others were killed simply by the Lord's glance, which cleansed them of all sinful activities and enabled them to attain Sarupya. So, the Kurukshetra war, Arjuna was the hero of this war by the mercy of Krishna. He's a great devotee, he's the best friend of Krishna. So by Krishna's mercy, Arjuna was the hero. and others were killed simply by the Lord's glance. So, of course, Arjuna was fighting also, but it was Krishna's will that they be killed. So then someone will say, oh, but why Krishna is being, then he's being impartial, he's killing one, he's giving victory to another. But those who were killed, they got purified. By Krishna is looking at them. Whoever came there, by Krishna's glance, everyone is cleansed of all the sinful reactions. Means they have no more karma there. They're purified. And they all got Sarupya Mukti, got the same form like Krishna. So they could go to Vaikuntha. Finally, Lord Krishna instructed Uddhav about the transcendental life of devotional service. And then in due course of time, he returned to his abode. So we are going to hear in the 11th canto, Uddhav Gita, where Krishna gives instructions to Uddhav. And then Krishna goes back to the spiritual world in his original spiritual body. You know, there are different theories that Krishna had a material body. No, Krishna's body is always spiritual. He went back to Golok Vrindavan in his original spiritual body. He left behind a material body just to bewilder the atheists, just to bewilder the envious. But the devotees know the most secret of secrets. The Lord's instructions in the form of Bhagavad Gita are full of jnana and vairagya, knowledge and renunciation. In the human form of life, one must learn these two things: how to become detached from the material world and how to acquire full knowledge in spiritual life. Gyan and Vairag. So Krishna is speaking this in Bhagavad Gita. By engaging in devotional service, automatically we get Gyan and Vairag. This is the Lord's mission. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatuskrita. After executing his complete mission, the Lord returned to his home, Golok, Vrindavan. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, end of the 9th canto. So this has brought us to the end of the 9th canto. Here Sukadev Goswami is telling us he's telling us a little bit of what we are going to hear in the 10th canto about Krishna, about his beautiful form, about his pastimes. He's also telling us that Krishna is going to instruct to Uddhav. We are going to hear that in the 11th canto. And when Krishna's mission is fulfilled, he goes back to his own home, Golok Vrindavan. The material world is also his. But Krishna, his home is Golok Vrindavan. He lives there. Just like a boss, the office also belongs to the boss, but the boss lives at home. Okay. Any comments?
This is so beautiful, right? What we heard today.
Yeah.
Like all
Yeah.
about Krishna, right? Such a really beautiful.
That's right. I can see that how Sukadev Goswami is so poetic. Yeah. How he's so nicely describing Krishna, his beautiful bodily features, his pastimes. And this is just like a very, very short summary speaking. So more to follow. We'll start with the 10th canto tomorrow. Okay, we'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada
Jai,
ki jai, Gaur
Jai,
Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Hare Krishna.
Jai, Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.